good, brother? All good? You well?
I'm very well.
Good, mate. Good, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. I'm good.
Good. How's your first
good, man. You right? Yeah, good.
And the gym's not been as... That's the thing with it. There's always someone that's got a bigger one than you, mate, unfortunately. Always. Many people at this point in time, that's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. I've come to learn the hard way. I can't run.
Everyone else is kitties.
You're hanging out the bottom of your
Biggest transfer of the century. Hopefully they kept the receipt.
As always, we want this next 48 hours to be fun, connection, enjoyment. We want it to be an opportunity for you to be able to actually be on holiday, train with some great people, break bread with some great people. We're going to do some businessy bits tomorrow, which is going to be epic. I know the majority of you are also here just for paddle. That's literally it. But a lot of people are like, I'm just here for the paddle, nothing, a paddle and the food. That's basically it. But as always, everything that we do is about you and as a person. And in order for you to be able to maximize this experience and this opportunity, we need you to be exactly as you are, as always, and just give yourself the opportunity to have the conversations, build the connections and build the relationships that you don't necessarily get the opportunity to do when you're in the industry and you're sat behind a laptop for the majority of your time. So I want you to have fun. I want us to have play. I want us to be able to have experiences. I want us to be able to really create some memories that are going to be fucking awesome that we can now look back on. And we want you to be able to walk away from the next couple of days, recharge, re-energize, revitalize, ready to rock and roll, and ready to run through brick walls going into the remainder of this year. So Mr. Dan Reeve is going to take us through a training session. Off the back of that, we can then recover for a couple of hours before dinner this evening. And yeah, the training session, as always, is just going to be do your absolute best. It's not about competition, it's about collaboration. And that's now doing a physical endeavor and being in an environment that actually you don't necessarily get the opportunity to do because the majority train by themselves. So giving yourself that space and place to now be in a room with other people who are going to be holding you to a higher standard, there's nothing better. You're in a winner's circle, a winner's environment. And we want to be able to raise the roof and actually help you realize what's actually possible for every single one of you. So give it your best, leave absolutely nothing. Let's walk away from here now knowing that we've left it all on the floor and we can go and eat some good food and enjoy some drinks later.
No losses, I don't do lipo. A few screws loose in the head, I'm a psycho. Promise you the bar, just as real as the bike though. Misunderstood, you could call me a typo. I shine hotter than the stars in the night though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title. Flipping an asset, so I don't worry the price though. Got scratched like mine, no, leave it to the tribal. I ain't even trying to try though. I could do this with my eyes closed. If I got nothing on my goals, my girl ain't plastic, she don't even recycle. All these kids just wanna be idols. All these kids just wanna be rival. I need something way more than viral. I need something way more than viral. Gotta be something way more than idol. Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Careful not to get too close, I might just go.
Let's go.
things with every event that we run is not how can we provide more information, but how can we have better quality experiences. We want to be able to create events where people now can connect, they can make friends, they can have fun, they can have experiences, and we can make memories that stick, which is why we have paddle, which is why we have the sunrise sea dips, which is why we have the training sessions, why we have the food, and then we do a little bit of business implementation, which is going to give them some strategy that will be well worthwhile them coming. But outside of that, it's all the stuff that you don't get when you run a business and you're sat behind a laptop or you're sat in the same four walls of your house. So being able to bring people together where your abnormal behavior is normal behavior and we can actually have fun, play, is such a huge part of what we do.
I've just been handed this thing and I'm like, oh, how do I do this?
Team, welcome to day 2, our business immersion day. So yesterday we had the training, we had the food. Today we had a sunrise sea dip, a cheeky little 5K run and a little bit of 2-touch on the beach, which didn't go so well. I think we got about 12 and that was as far as we got. We blame the sand and it being too soft. Now we are at the incredible venue, the Riadad, which is a paddle court. There's a pool, we're outside, and today is really about implementation. It's not about information. Every single coach that we work alongside, we give them the strategy, the structure, we give them the process, what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they're doing it. So coming to days like this where they have just more information and they have to sit and stare at a screen, it's not going to be productive. It's not going to be the best use of our time. And we wanted to be able to give them an opportunity just to take away a couple of golden nuggets that they can go and apply. We wanted them to be able to have a space where they can actually just collaborate and communicate, they can share ideas, and we've already been able to build some plug and plays that they can go and install. So we give them the thinking, the idea that they can go away and they can marinate. We then give them the 80%, which is like, here's a framework and here's a structure. And then there's the final 10%, which is just like almost the icing on the cake, as it were. So we're going to be doing that across an offer that they're putting out over the course of today, so they can actually make their investment back from heading across to the Algarve for the few days. Number 2, we're going to be helping them unpack a business that they love, which means that their delivery model inside their coaching program is going to not only get the results they're looking for, but it's going to give them the retention and the experience and allow them to talk about things that they're really passionate about, but in a process that makes sense. And number 3, ensure that their marketing and messaging is going to be what we call person-first content. Everything that we do is built around a level of messaging which is, you get me, you understand me. Your best prospects will become customers when they see themselves in your world. If they can't see themselves in your world, if they can't see themselves in your content, and they don't feel like you get them, they're gonna scroll past and they'll end up working with somebody else. And in order for you to be able to remove the noise, in order for you to be able to not feel as though you have to persuade people,
We want to be able to create content that makes people feel as though that you understand them better than anybody else. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you become the one. And that's how you allow yourself to bring people into your world with more ease and in a way that feels more effortless as well. And that's something that I've experienced over the last few years, and that's now the key ingredients we now want the guys and girls to be able to go and apply. So yeah, come along and we'll give you a little insight.
How are you?
6 eggs in the system.
It's also knowing how to work smart.
I want you to turn to the person next to you, and I want you to be able to just share one thing that you now want that might potentially feel or seem uncomfortable to you when you say it out loud.
We want to get beyond comfortable, so drive the numbers up and drive the business on.
I want that to then enable me to go part-time.
I was like tempted to move out.
Just the opportunity to live life on my own terms, be able to travel.
Long term, I really want to set up a women's homeless charity.
And not have to worry about money and to be able to spend time with the people that you want and take care of those people.
You're always 90 days away from. That might be developing a certain coaching skill. That might be 90 days away from actually destroying and rebuilding the entirety of your programming system that you've got in place at the moment.
You're not broken, and you're definitely not alone.
They were either too baggy around my skinny arms, or a little bit too tight where I felt like it was exposed them.
Just crossing that line, knowing I could.
I used to wear that grind like a badge of honour. No sleep, late night training, grab whatever's near, food strategy.
I would encourage anyone. I wish I had this when I joined the industry.
Yeah, it's opening my eyes to what can be potentially achieved in the next 3, 6, 12 months.
I didn't expect it to be so personal.
It's just been good to be able to bounce ideas off people and have people have your back.
Oh baby, groovy baby. Ready? So I'm with the 666 Marathon Strength Solution King. The most impressive thing about this man is that he's been out until 3:30 this morning drinking tequila. And he was the first man in the gym at 8 a.m. this morning. So I thought I'd better reward him with a coffee, a Leanne Parish breakfast special, and could come back and stroke Lola for 5 minutes just so he can get some optimal recovery. And I've also been able to rope him in to the YouTube as well. So Joel has been inside the High Performance Coach for the last 4 years. He's been a huge part of our growth, our evolution, and he's been here every single step of the way. You're at the very first event as well, back in Glasgow, with the sticky floors, and what was it, Venom?
Yeah, the pint of Venom. That was the first eye-opening experience of what it's like to be Scottish, and I feel I embraced it.
He was like, the hangover here in Portugal is not as bad as the hangover here in Glasgow.
Not at all.
Mate, how's the last couple of days been?
Yeah, it's been incredible experience. I think it's one of those where the reason why I've stayed as part of this room for so long is to kind of watch the growth, watch the evolution, and obviously with that the changing environment and the kind of changing standards, the people that are in the room as well, and it's an environment that you can't really get anywhere else. It's trying to explain what goes on inside the 48 hours that you're here is pretty tough to do, but when you kind of sit back, reflect, this is exactly why we do what we do. We come together, we connect, and ultimately we share some experiences, get some stories, and yeah, it's just a pleasure to be a part of it.
What was the biggest takeaway from the last couple of days?
I think it's the changing environment. Like growing up in Wales, you know what I mean, you're stuck to the four walls of the valleys, but when you kind of escape that and you meet other people, you connect, and you realise that there's a lot of shared experiences that you can come across, and there's a different way of life, and it just evolves your thinking and allows you to operate from a different place that, you know, you never really get to experience if you don't meet the people and experience their life.
I always say, and I've said this in the last couple of YouTubes as well, it's like find your people. And a huge part of building a business isn't just about making more money, how do you continue to grow and how do you get more bums on seats. It's about actually now working alongside people that you want to connect with, you want to spend time with. And mate, you've been a huge part of that. And as shared earlier, just the power of being able to sit down, have dinner, go to the gym, or even bring you to my house and just have that level of relationship. And that's an experience that I want every single coach to have with the clients that they work alongside. We don't just want another number. You actually want people that light you up, that challenge you as much as you challenge them, that want to grow with you, that want to evolve with you, and you value and you appreciate. There's getting clients and there's finding your people. And we want every single coach to be able to find their people, because when you do that, you build a business that grows and evolves with you, it aligns to you, and there's so much more fun and simplicity that comes along for the ride, because you're not trying to force something, it just feels like it's an extension. And that's the very game that we want every single person to play. So Joel's been a huge part of what we do, will continue to be an incredible part of what we do. I think the guys, well, he's probably got about a year's worth of free coaching with the amount of referrals that he's given us over the number of years. So dude, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
There we go, done and dusted. Portugal event boxed off. I'm slightly weary-eyed and tired today. Not because I've been out on the sauce, like some of the boys, and I absolutely love that, because then they just had the opportunity to come together and have a great time, which is brilliant. But the time, the effort, the energy that goes into these events are pretty monumental, and obviously with the incredible team, I've not even had as much to do. But the last couple of days have been epic for so many reasons, and like the general theme, this isn't about information, this is about connection, fun, enjoyment, play, the conversations that you have on the paddle court, the conversation you have at dinner, the training session where you come together and you just realize how much more you've got in the tank and the standards that you set for yourself and what's actually possible, because it's so easy to normalize your norms. So exactly as Joel's mentioned, putting yourself in a different environment and space, not for them, but even for me and even for the team, just to make us realize and appreciate how much more there is, the potential that we have, and how cool it is that we get this opportunity to call this work, which I think is brilliant. So good. I always sit back and reflect and appreciate what's gone on, and it's difficult because it's easy just to brush it off and go, right, okay, what's next? What am I now moving into? And this is probably the 8th or 9th event that I've now run, and everyone asks me, oh, are you proud of yourself? And you know, it must be absolutely amazing. And there's been so many times I've been like, yeah, it is, but inside I've never really felt that. The last couple of events I've allowed myself to really stand where my feet are and just enjoy this, the now, and appreciate that. When I first started in 2010, all I wanted was for me to be in a position where I could be a personal trainer, somebody would pay me to coach them, and I could help them go on a journey. So I didn't have to get a real job. So to now, 15 years later, be in a position where we've been able to bring all of the team over, bring all of our coaches, or 35 of our coaches across, to have 2 days in Portugal and have the experiences. These will be the memories when I'm 80, 85, 90, hopefully I make it that far, that I'll look back on and go, how cool was that? And that's what really this is all about. That's the game. And it's appreciating that this is what we do all this for. Yes, the growth and the evolution and the money and you know, the next level of scale is amazing, it's fantastic and things that we want to chase, but it's those connections and those small little moments and those small little memories that are the difference, that really make the difference and make it all worthwhile. So I'm not sure when the next vlog will be. I think it'll probably be a couple of months' time, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.